What's up, everyone? It's Brendan. I'm back to tell you guys exactly my personal tutorial on how I think you should go about picking your niche in SMMA. This might be something that a lot of people disagree with, but just based on my own thoughts, this is how I believe that the best way to pick it is. So before I continue, I'm not saying you can't thrive in any niche. Any niche has the potential to thrive in. But what you want to do is you want to set yourself up in the position where you're most easily able to achieve the goals that you want. And if you go to a niche that, I don't know, some niche that the same person has gotten the same DM 20 times for, heard the same offer, heard the same things, it's going to be very hard to be successful in that niche. And while you can still do well, you want to basically put yourself in a position where it's most easy to achieve your goals. So what is a good niche? We'll get into the criteria of what it takes to be a good niche in a bit, but first I'll go over the process that you should follow in order to pick a niche. This part where you pick a niche, I think is the parts that more people disagree with, but I think if you hear someone else recommend a niche, or especially if you hear it in a video, oh, this is the niche you should do not do that niche. The same people have seen that video, that niche is out there. Other people are doing that niche. The businesses within that niche are already receiving the same offers, receiving the same things, and they're not gonna. You're nothing special. They've heard the same things. So what I recommend is you think of a business on your own that isn't a popular SMMA niche. It's just a business that you could help provide services for. Now, how do I recommend doing this? I recommend just, honestly, it could be something you enjoy, could not, but create a list and just think of a topic, all right? Think of a topic. Could be bikes, could be dogs, could be, I don't know, could be anything. I'll use bikes as an example here. You pick the idea of bikes. Alright, so let's say you pick bikes. Alright, we got bikes. You're going to want to think of subcategories of businesses within that one main category. Could be anything. So let's take a look. Could be bike parks. Could be bike rentals. Could be bike repair shops. Now, as I continue, just one small thing I would recommend that you could find other ways to alter around, but I would want it to be something that there's more of a fixed rate that people could pay for online, because it makes it a lot easier for you to track results with your customer and to have a consistent flow. It depends a lot on your offer, but that's just a recommendation, not one of the main criteria. Or you could just have the main category of just bike stores. Now, this is just an example. This is just one thing I thought of. You're going to want to do this a bunch of times before you actually pick your niche and create a list. Like I said, you can thrive in any niche. I would just recommend you make sure it follows the criteria that I listed a bit. But let's continue on this bike example. There's a ton of other things you could do with it. Let's just continue with this. So there's a couple criteria you want to follow with the niche that you're picking. So I would say the two most important ones are these two. The easily convertible and not highly saturated, because you want to, well, I wouldn't say those are the most important, but those are definitely ones you want to focus on, because you want a niche that you are able to consistently provide results for. And there's a lot of niches where that isn't possible or isn't likely. It also depends on your service, but there's some niches that will just, depending on, if you're just doing normal lead gen with advertising or something like that, then a lot of things will not be very easy to accomplish. And if you can't accomplish results for your clients, then your agency is nothing. So how do you think of whether or not a niche is highly convertible? I would just look at the sentimental aspects of the niche and just the practical aspects of it. So first of all, it depends how you're running ads. If you're running Facebook ads, I saw someone else say this, but I think it's a very good point. I forget who it was. But if it's Facebook, you're advertising to wants. Google, you're advertising to needs, basically. If someone knows who said that, I don't know, leave that in the comments, I forget. Whichever of the two that you're doing, you want to be able to pick one that you're able to consistently get people to click on. And I think it needs to properly fit in one of those categories and not be much of an in-between. So let's look at the examples that we brought up. For example, let's look at bike parks. I would say that is a very much want niche, alright? That right there is one that you see that, oh, I want to go to a mountain bike park or something. You see that, oh, that is going to convince me to go do something to have fun. So that checks off the want criteria. And let's look at the repair shops. Well, I think that now that I'm looking at this could be kind of both. but I'll get into that in a second. The repair shops. I guess you could say it's a want, maybe, or you look at an ad and you're like, oh, maybe I should get my bike repaired. Oh, it's been a while since I've been on my bike. But I would say more consistently, what you're gonna see is someone breaks their bike and they Google bike repair shops near me or something like that. I think that is a need. So it needs to consistently fall into one of those categories. You need to know which service you're doing, and you need to be able to make sure your niche fits into one of those two categories. Wants or needs. Now, the next thing you want to look at, it's not highly saturated. I went into this a bit. I think this is also super important. There's a lot of niches that are just like, that come to the top of my mind, that just like, the gurus do, the gurus advertise, everyone in the industry knows, oh, this is a good agency niche. It's probably not true, because the more people know about a niche, the more people within that niche are getting DMs from these people who are hearing about it, and someone who's gotten the same DM is not going to want to work with you because you're not unique. They've gotten 100 others of the same things. If they've gotten 20 DMs offering the same or a similar thing, that reduces your chances to 5%. If they were to pick someone, you've got like a 5% chance of being the person they pick. You want to make it closer to a 100% chance that it's you. So pick a niche that you think of on your own using the strategy that I told you. I would say you want to pick a niche that does not have many gatekeepers. You want to be able to contact the people within this niche and contact straight to the person who would be making these decisions and doing these things. Something like dentists, you're not going to be able to easily reach the owner, and I think that's a big disadvantage. I don't think that completely invalidates it, but I think it's definitely a disadvantage and something you want to look at. We'll get to businesses that can handle growth and are looking to scale. So, honestly, I used to be in a good niche. I was in the detailing niche, but there are a couple of reasons why I decided to leave. I'm not going to say what niche I'm in now, but I'll say one of the reasons that I left is because so many of the people they can't handle growth, so they say, oh no thanks, we're booked out for a long time, which you'll find in a lot of niches. But why should you want to work in a business that you can't work with in the long term? Because you can't bring your utmost potential to them, because they're just not capable of handling it and looking to scale. So I have too many clients, which doesn't make sense to me. If it's possible to scale, I don't understand why they don't, but people choose to just stay a small local business even though you're giving them the potential to grow. So you want to be able to work in a niche for the long term. You want to be able to own a business that you can consistently grow and that won't just get dumped after a little while, especially for a service-based business. You want to be able to consistently work with people and have a consistent income flow. You don't want to just have 3 clients for 2 months and then have nothing until another year later. So bike parks, I would say that's a no, because in the wintertime, these people are not going to be riding their bikes at a bike park. They're all closed. One niche I thought was very good until I hit this issue. It checked off in like every other category for me, was summer camps. I thought summer camps was a great idea. I thought it was easy to advertise, which is up here. This is something I didn't fully... Just think about if you're the consumer. If I see this ad, will I want to do this? If you're doing Facebook ads or a want advertisement platform. So I thought summer camps, there's a lot of parents, there's a lot of people looking to get their kids doing things. Summer camps, they see that, oh, that's good. I thought it wasn't super highly saturated. I haven't heard of that before. I think there definitely are gatekeepers, but I think it's also decently easy to get in touch with the owner. But it's only basically in the summer. It's not something that I'd be able to do long term, so it's not really worth doing. Now, the next is that people actually take their business seriously, and it's not just something they do on the side. This is kind of similar to this one, and I'll tell you one in a second, but this is one of the other issues I reached in the detailing niche. Is people just do it as this side thing in their garage, and they have another job that they don't want to mix around, and it kind of follows the same thing as not looking to scale, but also you don't want to work with someone who's not full-time or who's not fully invested in what they're doing. For you to be fully invested in them, for them not to be fully invested in what they're offering, is not a good relationship that you want to have with your clients, and is not something that will be super scalable, super good for the long term, because it's something that they're not fully committed to. Lastly, you want to make it something that's actually profitable, that you can make money from. You don't want to pick a niche that people have super slim margins in already. So I think for this, you actually just have to look at the margins of these niches, and I think you need to talk to people within these niches and basically analyze how much profit they're making and everything like that. For example, the niche I'm in right now, there's like, for example, $1,500 services that are 12 or 1300 profit, disregarding a single person labor cost or something like that. So I think you want to look at, so it could be to the point where they pay off your whatever they're charging you in one sale or something like that because of the amount of profit they're making. So that's just a general criteria I would follow. But before I finish, I just want to say you guys need to take action. That's the most important step in starting your social media marketing agency. You can spend all the time in the world researching and analyzing different niches, but if you don't actually take action, you're not going to get anywhere. You could spend months watching YouTube videos. Oh, here's the perfect niche, nitpicking information, but you will learn the most information by actually jumping in and doing stuff. So once you've chosen your niche, start reaching out to potential clients and offering your services. This will help you gain experience, it will build your portfolio, and inevitably just track more clients in general. If this helped you in your goal of picking a niche and inevitably getting closer to actually starting your agency, I would really appreciate, any reaction. Comment, like, subscribe, because this is basically a brand new channel. I posted once like 2 months ago, but now I'm hoping to get more consistent and actually grow an audience. I'll leave my Discord server in the bio. That is like the best thing you guys can join to get direct experience with each other and with me. I'm not like a professional. I'm still growing. This is just what I've learned. And I really appreciate you guys all watching. And I hope I'm able to help you accomplish your goals.